Hey guys, hey, want to talk about a couple of things today. Um, in reality, um, the terms you need to know are reactive and proactive. Now, most people lead their lives and they react. So they're going out there and they're getting into some issues. They're not thinking. Next thing you know, bam, you got pulled over. So now you have to react to what the system is doing to you. So a lot of people get stuck on that. And then you spend most of your life fighting the system because you had a broken taillight, or you didn't have your insurance right, or you didn't have your tags correct, or you had a suspension, or you didn't do something. So that's really, it's a reactive position. It's a position where you're a sitting duck because you don't have anything up here that's telling you, okay, let's be prepared. Okay, let's look ahead. You know, like, you know, reactive is, okay, you got no spare tire. You have no jumper cables. You don't have a four-way lug wrench in your trunk. You're not prepared. So you get a flat tire and then you have to react to what's happened to you. Okay? In my trunk is a brand new tire, brand new jumper cables, brand new floor jack, brand new four-way, and a lockout kit. Okay? Now that's proactive. That's being prepared. That's not only being prepared for me, that's being prepared for everyone I may run into that I may need to help and assist. Because everybody should be trying to help and assist anyone around them. They should do what's in the best interest of everyone. If you don't have these things in the trunk, then you're going to have to react to when you get that flat tire, boom, 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 and you're on the side of the road. Now what are you going to do? Well, you're going to call someone else and you're going to have to take up their time and you're going to have to take their energy, which isn't a great thing. So you should be the person that has all of those things in your trunk and you're prepared, so then you can go help people. You can help people that you don't even know. You can, number one, you're going to help yourself, and you have the peace of mind, and you've been proactive. If you have that in your trunk, which I do in both cars, then you're in a position of responsibility. So it's the same thing. You go get pulled over by a state patrol or your local cops. If you're not responsible, A, you're probably going to get tickets every time they see you. B, it's going to cause you great problems and great grief, and it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you major money. And I don't know if you've seen videos, but sometimes stuff like that costs people their lives. I don't know about you, but I want to stay away from anything that's called officer, period. Now I'm not scared of them, but I know how to handle it. I've thought, I've been responsible, I've read, I've studied, I've looked at what happens to other people, and I don't want to be there. So that's proactive. So if you can understand reactive and proactive, if every time you see them you got to react because they do something to you, you should be thinking. You should be thinking, how can I be proactive? How can I be responsible to where they're not going to be able to do anything to me? And if you understand who you are, it doesn't matter if your dead entity has an ID and a Social Security card and a birth certificate or not. If you know how to handle yourself, you should be able to get through a traffic stop in a couple of minutes and be gone without any kind of problems. And that's what happens to me in most cases. That's I almost never ever get detained, or there's no issues, there's no problems. I'm not telling him I don't answer questions, which that's a viable thing. And if you're proactive and you understand how that's done, by all means, if that's your plan, whatever it is you decide to run with, at least have some idea of what you're doing and why you're doing it. So It's came across my phone, my desk so many times when people's lives are ruined because they don't want to be proactive. Proactive is what you want to be. You want to be ahead. You want to be responsible. You want to have things in order. No, that doesn't mean you got to be a slave. Okay? No, that doesn't mean they have rights and power and jurisdiction over you. It doesn't. But if you use your head and you know what you're doing, and you've thought and you've studied and you see how it happens to everyone else, be proactive, not reactive. I get calls from people all over the world where a problem's happened because they didn't do something simple and they didn't follow along to every one of the rules everyone else needs to follow along with. Yes, there's different ways of thinking. Yes, there's different rules, there's different wording, there's different everything. It depends on who you are, what kind of education you have, and which direction you want to go. Okay? How responsible do you want to be? How much power and control do you want to have if you get pulled over? Or you get a bill in the mail. I don't get bills in the mail. Boom. As soon as they're there, it goes right straight back out. I pay it and settle it. If I don't want to use it, I don't want to get that big of a bill, I think about what I'm doing, I'm proactive. Okay? I don't get a $500 water bill, a $500 electric bill. I don't get nothing like that. I use what I have to use, I do the minimum, and then I have plenty more money. Instead of paying it to utility companies. I don't have a stuff plugged in my house. I don't go off and leave my lights on all day and let the water drip or nothing like that. I'm proactive. So, being responsible. Another thing that you should be paying attention to as far as being proactive. Okay? The very first things in your life should be to protect your children. You should have their names. You should have assumed names for your children, you and your children. That's being proactive. Chances are, if you've been proactive and you have that assumed name, and your children are added to it, yes, you can add your children to the assumed name, your assumed name, under your assumed name. You can claim your children. If they're under the age of 18, even if they're mentally handicapped and they're over 18, you can still do their assumed name. If you have a mother that's, of course the mother's older than you, so you can put your mother on there if your mother lives with you. You can put your wife on there if your wife lives with you. You can have their assumed name under your assumed name, and that tells everyone hands off. That's being proactive. Chance of you getting attacked because you're not responsible is very, very slim. Have you notified the agencies who you are and that you're alive? Have you done these things? Are you the best position on the planet that you should be? Are you being proactive and notifying everybody so you can be fully 100% responsible? That's where everybody needs to be. Everybody needs to be responsible past what the normal person thinks or believes they should be. Okay? You should turn into a proactive, right brain thinking man or woman. And you should, is your insurance paid up on your car? If your insurance is not paid up, you're going to get that ticket. Okay, that's being reactive. That's not being proactive. Did you check the air in those tires? That's proactive. Okay? Do you got thumping going on the right-hand side of your car and you're not doing anything and you keep driving? Well, that's reactive. You're going to have to pay a much bigger bill when you take that to the mechanic. Are you thinking timely and responsible? There's reasons for everything, So, I want to get that message out to you today. I would like you to subscribe to my channel. Give me a good thumbs up. So all that's important to me. It lets me know, am I getting the message across? The people understand that they're being reactive every day. They're not being proactive. They're not taking a stance and accomplishing a goal. And they're not prepared in case tragedy happens. I've known people, their children, one thing happened. They were home 5 minutes late when the bus dropped off the children and it caused them to call the police, the neighbors call the police, or someone call the police, they see the child outside, somebody hasn't been responsible. You know, it could be anything, anywhere, anytime, and you can be prepared for a lot of things. No one will. They don't have a proactive mind. You know, do you have more than $500 put back or saved or in the bank or on your credit card in case you break down somewhere? You know, just things like that. That's being proactive if you do. You know, something on the lines of 50 to 60% of the people in the country don't have $500. And you know, they take these road trips, they don't even have a spare tire. They don't have, you know, they don't have the money to tow themselves home. Then what's going to happen? You're going to have to call somebody, if you got somebody to call, and they're going to have to go out of their way, and you're going to have to use their energy, and that's not really the right thing to do. So you know, you're taking people's energy when you're not responsible and you're not proactive. Okay, that's all I got for you. Hope I didn't bore you too much, and we'll talk to you soon.